How's it going, everyone? This is Astro here again, and welcome back to another Splatoon weapon analysis video. Today's video is going to be all about the N-ZAP 83, and I have 4 gear builds to share today. So let's jump into it by checking out this weapon's typing, stats, and version history. So to start things off, the N-ZAP 83 is a main shooter type weapon in Splatoon that was introduced in version 2.8 as a part of Sheldon's Picks, Volume 2. It can be purchased from the Ammo Night store for a value of 7,000 coins once you have reached level 20. As for its stats, it shares the same stats as the rest of the N-ZAP family, having a range of 50, damage of 27, fire rate of 75, and a base damage of 28. Its main difference, once again, lies within its weapon kit. So for its sub-weapon, the N-ZAP 83 receives the point sensor, which is a device that once it's deployed, it will track any enemies that are caught within its blast radius for a specific amount of time, and it also catches enemies hiding behind walls as well. So it basically functions as a pocket echolocator, which is really cool. As for its special weapon, the N-ZAP 83 receives the Kraken, which is a special that transforms you into an invincible squid for a specific amount of time, and you can take down unaware enemies with a vicious melee attack. So overall, the N-ZAP 83 continues the tradition of the N-ZAP family by being able to spread ink very quickly due to its high fire rate, and coupled together with its new weapon kit, you'll be able to take on 2 roles simultaneously by being supportive with the point sensor as well as being aggressive with the Kraken. As for its version history, the N-ZAP 83 technically doesn't have a history since it was one of the last weapons to be added to the game, but it still retains the changes that were made to the N-ZAP 85 and 89, so you'll still be receiving the benefits of the increase in your walk speed, as well as the increase in ink droplet size and the reduced intervals between the droplets. The only new change was with the introduction to special depletion. So the N-ZAP 83 falls under the medium category, which means you'll be losing up to 60% of your special meter in the event you get splatted. As for the point sensor, in version 2.2, the radius of the area that affects enemies has been increased by 17%. So you'll be able to flush out your enemies in a wider area, which is a welcomed addition. However, its base duration has been decreased from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. But 8 seconds, in my opinion, is still more than enough time to track down your enemies. As for the Kraken, it got nerfed the hardest over the game's history. So in version 1.3, the Kraken can now be pushed back by firing directly at it, allowing your enemies to bounce you around like a pinball if you're not careful. As for version 2.2, it increased the amount of turf that's needed to be inked for filling the special gauge from 180 points to 200 points. So one way to mitigate this loss is to run special charge up on your gear to charge your special meter as quickly as possible. There was also an added period of 0.75 seconds before a player can attack again after using the Kraken. This is similar to the Inkzuka change, where there was an added period of time before a player can fire off the first shot. So you just have to be careful not to overextend yourself into enemy territory, since your enemies will have a slight advantage to take you out before you can take them out. Next, the area that the Kraken takes damage has been increased according to the size of its body. So this means that the size of the overall hitbox of the Kraken is bigger, which will give your enemies an easier time to push your Kraken back. And finally, the amount of knockback has been increased when the Kraken is hit from above or below, which puts the Kraken at a severe disadvantage when the enemy has the high ground or is directly below the Kraken. As for version 2.9, the base duration of the Kraken has been decreased from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. But this can be made up for with the 20% increase in duration if you have special duration up equipped on your gear. So, with all the changes that were made to the Kraken, the moral of the story is that players now need to be more aware of when and where to activate the Kraken. So, as far as gear and abilities are concerned, there's a couple of abilities that I would recommend to use with the N-ZAP 83. first being bomb range up to help with the point sensor, and the second being swim speed up to help with the Kraken. So as I mentioned before, I have 4 gear builds to showcase today, so let's take a look at the first gear build that I have for you in this video. So this first build is designed to maximize the use of the point sensor. So we're going to start things off by selecting our headgear, which will be in the form of the sun visor. It uses bomb range up for its main ability, and it features the N-ZAP brand, which has a high chance of rolling ink recovery up. As for our clothes, we can use either the Black Baseball LS or the Kraken V29. The Black Baseball LS uses swim speed up for its main ability, and it features the Rockenberg brand, which has a high chance of rolling run speed up, whereas the Kraken V29 uses run speed up for its main ability, and, as you may have guessed, features the Kraken brand, which has a high chance of rolling swim speed up. And finally, for our shoes, we're going to be using the Neon Sea Slugs. It uses ink resistance up for its main ability, and it features the N-ZAP brand, which has a high chance of rolling ink recovery up. So overall, this, in my opinion, is a good support build to use with the N-ZAP 83, as the bomb range up will increase the throw range of your point sensor, allowing you to tag your enemies at a farther distance, and the stacks of ink recovery up on your headgear and shoes will allow you to refill your ink tank quicker so that you can support your teammates as well as harass your enemies with more point sensors. You also get both movement options in the form of swim speed and run speed on your clothes. The swim speed can be used to make your Kraken a little faster, as well as help you either retreat or reposition yourself in the event that things get crazy, and the run speed, coupled together with the buff in your walk speed, will allow you to circle strafe your enemies very easily. And the ink resistance up will keep you mobile when you are in or near enemy ink. Up next, I have a battery build that's designed to maximize the use of the Kraken. So we're going to start things off by selecting our headgear, which will be in the form of either the studio headphones or the Tentacles helmet. Both gears feature the Forge brand, which has a high chance of rolling special duration up. However, the studio headphones uses Ink Saver main for its main ability, whereas the Tentacles helmet uses run speed up for its main ability. As for our clothes, we're going to be using the Sunny Day T. It uses special charge up for its main ability, and it features the Kraken brand, which has a high chance of rolling swim speed up. And to round off this build, we can use either the Clownfish Basics or the Red High Tops for our shoes, both of which feature the Kraken brand, which has a high chance of rolling swim speed up. However, the Clownfish Basics uses special charge up for its main ability, whereas the Red High Tops uses ink resistance up for its main ability. So overall, this is a deadly build that allows you to play the N-ZAP 83 more aggressively, as the stacks of special charge up on your clothes and shoes will help you to charge your special meter as quickly and as frequently as possible to use more Krakens. And the stacks of swim speed, again on your clothes and shoes, will make your Kraken hard to escape from, as well as to help you retreat or reposition yourself. The special duration up on your headgear will help your Kraken last a little bit longer. Any Forge branded headgear will work for this build, but I chose to use the studio headphones as a way to give yourself a little bit of breathing room if you miss a few shots, and the Tentacles helmet as a way to help you run strafe your enemies. And even though I don't have it listed here, you could use the Stealth Goggles as a way to add more swim speed to your Kraken, as well as make it last longer, or the 2-stripe mesh as a way to save special meter and add more swim speed. However, you do need to be aware of the law of diminishing returns, as the more you stack of a specific ability, the less powerful it will be. So you want to stack enough to where it's effective, so that you can make room for other useful abilities. Also, if you plan to use the Clownfish Basics, you do need to be aware of your positioning and movement when you're near enemy ink. So if that's a concern for you, then the Red High Tops is a good option to use, as the ink resistance will keep you mobile when you are in or near enemy ink. And finally, I have a build that tries to combine the best of both worlds. So we're going to start things off by selecting our headgear, which will be in the form of the pilot goggles. It uses bomb range up for its main ability, and it features the Forge brand, which has a high chance of rolling special duration up. As for our clothes, we're going to once again be using either the black baseball LS or the Kraken 528 as a way to give us good movement options in the form of swim speed and run speed. And finally, for our shoes, we're going to be using the Hunter High Tops. It uses ink recovery up for its main ability, and it features the Kraken brand, which has a high chance of rolling swim speed up. So this build tries to be both supportive and aggressive at the same time, as the bomb range up will help you to tag faraway enemies with the point sensor, and the ink recovery up will help you refill your ink tank quicker to use more point sensors. The stacks of swim speed on your clothes and shoes will make your Kraken a little faster, and the special duration up on your headgear will make your Kraken last a little longer. The only thing that you should be aware of when using this build is your positioning and movement when you're in your enemy ink, since this build does not use any ink resistance. So if that's a concern for you, then I've designed an alternate build that accomplishes the same purpose, so we could take a look at that right over here. So for this build, we'll be using the stealth goggles for our headgear and the neon sea slugs for our shoes. The stealth goggles has the swim speed up main and the special duration up subs thanks to its Forge branding, whereas the neon sea slugs has the ink resistance up main and the ink recovery up subs thanks to its Tentatech branding. So as I stated before, this build accomplishes the same purpose as the build that I showed you previously. You do miss out on the bomb range up, but the ink recovery up can still be used to support your teammates with more point sensors. But the main focus here is the ink resistance, as it will allow you to be more mobile when you are in or near enemy ink. So overall, this is a good build to use to cover all of your bases, but if you believe that resistance is futile, and are comfortable with your positioning and movement, then the previous build that I showed you works just as well. But anyways everyone, that's all I have for this video, so I'd like to thank you all for watching my analysis on the N-ZAP 83. I hope you found all this information useful. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. So as I stated before, that's all for this video. So this is Astro blasting off, and as always, until next time, take care, stay fresh, and I hope you all have a great day.